I've developed a crush, and I think I just got cockblocked. Hey, it's Confessions of a Doctorholic with Hassa Slayman, and I feel like I need to elaborate on this story. So, I've been asked to take a visit to the emergency department. I walk in, and there's this guy that... Okay, I had a crush on this guy for a hot minute. No, I think it was a little bit longer than a hot minute. But basically, I found him attractive. And the thing that I found attractive about him was he's kind of like me. So I'm the type of person that if I don't know you, I'm going to walk up to you. I'm going to be like, hey, my name is Hafsa. I'm totally shameless. So I'm just literally going to go up to you, introduce myself, make you feel super uncomfortable, and then leg it. And this guy did that to me, and I was super impressed because not many people do that to me. Not many people... I mean, I've met friendly people, but not many people are super comfortable to be like, hey, my name is this, and what's your name, and what brings you here, and super chatty about life. So I'm immediately super impressed by this guy. It helps that he has green eyes. I have a thing for people with green eyes. I will probably regret this later, but I'm trying to confess to you. I'm trying to be as honest and as real as possible. So he's sitting behind the desk in the emergency department, and obviously, because I feel like I need to tell you, I can flirt. At least I think I can flirt when I'm not intending to flirt. Or I guess that's not super accurate. That sounds like I'm cocky. I've been told that I flirt with people that I'm not trying to flirt with. So I'm either a flirtatious person or there's something going on wrong. But anyway, this is not the point of today's episode. Basically, I word vomit. This is my problem in life. I don't like word vomiting. It's great for a podcast. It's great when I'm talking to you, but when it comes to your crush, I just don't think it's an attractive trait. I feel like people like more mystery. I like mystery, So I wish I could stay mysterious. Anyway, so I don't do the polite thing and say hi to him because I'm just trying to be cool. I don't think it's working in my favor. Anyway, so he's like, oh, hey, Hafsa, how are you? And I'm like, hi. And that's the thing. Why did I end up being breathy? It's just, why couldn't I just say hi? Hi, and and just wink or something. I don't know, something cool, I'm super breathy. I'm like, hi, how are you? Which is so, I like being confident. And then this is what I do. Anyway, so I'm like, okay, I've come here with a task. I am a professional. I will look at this task that I've got in front of me. So I speak to the head of the emergency department. She saw me present last week, so she was super impressed by me. I was very happy. And she was having a chat. She was like, hey, I was super impressed by your presentation. You were amazing, rah, rah, rah. And then she was like, how can I help you? And I was really excited about that because I'm like, okay, so if I'm going to get really great treatment, if I make a great presentation, I am going to present all the time. I had to present this history. I had to present a case about vertigo. And if I must say myself, I thought I killed it. I think what helps with presentations is not giving a shit about what everyone else thinks about you. I think that's what's going on. I mean, that's the vibe that I'm trying to exhibit. Anyway, she's like, okay, how can I help you? And I'm like, a patient came in. I was told by the cardio department to have a look at his labs, have a look at his ECG, and examine the patient. She's like, yep, cool, it's right here. And it's right in front of this guy that I'm crushing on. I'm ignoring his existence because my brain has a massive block. And the last thing I want to do, I feel this is what I tell myself to help myself sleep at night. Guys like confident, smart women. So I did not want to look dumb. I was like, okay. And also, here's the thing. I'm not going to be one of those girls that's drooling all over the desk. I am a professional. I am going to be a doctor. I need to put my best foot forward. And yes, I do have a crush. And yes, everyone has time for this. And yes, Grey's Anatomy is all about that. But here in real life, I'm going to have to focus on the task at hand. So there's the ECG, and I keep trying. I don't know if it's the right thing to do. I think it's right. Like, I always try to do it systematically because I'm like, I don't want to miss anything. I'm still a student. I'm still not super familiar with ECGs. I mean, I've seen so many ECGs, but I haven't seen a million. I'm not a cardiologist, right? So I'm like, okay, let's do this systematically. So I'm just like looking at the ECG, and I'm like, oh wow, like, yeah, so like these R's are really tall, these S's are really long. And then she's like, all right, so like, what do you think? And I'm like, oh, it's definitely left ventricular hypertrophy. I'm there. I'm like, yes, got it. First go. Everything else is normal about the ECG. And like, I know what I'm doing. I've literally seen an ECG like this morning. It's exactly the same. Okay, not exactly the same. It is very similar. It's extremely similar. This person has hypertension. I'm sure of it, you know? And I'm like literally going on a tangent. And I have this habit of running down rabbit holes as well, especially when I get excited about a diagnosis. So anyway, so I'm there going like, it is definitely left ventricular hypertrophy. And then this guy, he comes up, leans forward. He is towering over me, which I find hot as fuck if I'm I should not be swearing, but I find it hot as, if I'm being completely honest with you. And I'm freaking out right now. I can feel his body heat. And it's like literally there's a table in between us. So some of you are probably thinking like, what is going on? Why are we turning this into a romance novel? And I did not intend to do this, but like there's literally a table between us. And he's like leaning forward, and I'm literally like, oh my God. And I'm literally also like, oh my God, I'm like so smart right now. And this is what the emergency physician does. She's like, it's a normal ECG. Why are you going to cockblock me like that? Anyway, so I'm there and I'm trying, and like, I mean, I'm polite. I'm always polite, but I'm like, oh yeah, but like the R's are long and the S's are long in V1 to V5. They're leads, okay? So they're like some of the ECG leads. So I'm pointing at it and I'm like, they're long. And then he's trying to be helpful. I don't know if I'm supposed to be damsel in distress right now. I've literally lost my brain in this entire process. And I'm super embarrassed. I'm glad I'm wearing a mask because I'm like red in the face. And like, he's literally like, oh, but like, isn't it like R plus S, like 28 and whatever? And my brain stopped working. I know this. This is what's even more frustrating. It's like, you know when you're sitting in the exam and you're like, I 100% know this answer. I know it's on page 11 at the bottom right corner. I highlighted it in yellow and you just don't remember the words. That is literally what happened to me at the moment. And then she returns and she's like, no, it's definitely a normal ECG. You know what killed me a little bit more? I hate admitting this. But yes, if you roll your eyes up to the top of the ECG, there it is in bold. Normal ECG. Why couldn't I just follow it? You know, they always tell us, like, make sure that, like, it's correct. Why couldn't I just follow that and go like, yep, normal ECG? I mean, at least I learned something, right?